It all started when the topless meta began trending this year, wherein streamers would film themselves live with the implication that they were topless, cropping just above where it counts.
Society, eh? It's always the quiet ones, but I am going to deliver howls of justice at them through the jowls of my fist.
Hello and welcome back to Wish for Death Island, Population Me, and today we're going to complain. Yeah, that's about it. So, I remember once ages ago I made this video about Twitch doing stupid shit because I thought it was funny, and I guess I'm kind of doing the same thing, but it's weird because in terms of Twitch culture, I'm not really involved. I don't really watch streams on Twitch outside of like Vinesauce, Germa, and when my friends do it casually, and that's kind of it. I don't even stream myself because my internet is so shit that I just can't. And I don't know who the popular people are. I tried watching clips of them, but they made me want to put a hammer in my own skull because it was really fucking boring. So usually I have no idea what's going on and I like to keep it that way. However, the one thing that I do know about Twitch is that it seems like every single one of the employees has always wanted to fuck all of the cam whores on that site, and all of the rules on Twitch are guided around that concept. There have been so many times where somebody on Twitch who makes risque content, shall we say, has decided to accidentally have some sort of wardrobe malfunction or accidentally do something that would be construed as maybe perhaps a bit inappropriate.
You have no idea. Hold on.
What's her face? I forgot her fucking name, but she has a funny accent. The amount of times that woman's dog has been up her vagina, it's a bit suspicious when it happens once. I don't know what to say about twice. And yes, it sounds a bit unfair of me to start saying that things that people do accidentally are actually on purpose. I understand that. It's normal for people to do things accidentally. It's not everything's a conspiracy, but at the same time, you have to wonder how many times this shit happens before you start to figure out that this is just something that they do to keep themselves popular. Because I think every single one of them are aware that there's some Kuma on Reddit who has a bunch of subreddits dedicated to different body parts. I know that there's one for feet, I think. There's probably one for some other things as well. To be fair, most of Reddit is Kumas. The one thing I'm proud of in my life is that I don't have an account on Reddit. Plus, there's this idea that in general, if a man does something, even if it's actually accidental, they'll get punished for it, they'll get banned for it. Even if they don't do something, they kind of just get banned. But if you see a woman doing the same thing, if she's a cam whore, she'll immediately get a pass as if she's never done anything at all. And usually that's just something that people make fun of, because it's not really something that you can do anything about. However, recently they have decided that posting this kind of cam whore shit is not only perfectly fine, but also encouraged. I know at first it doesn't seem as bad when you read the kind of loopholey, purposely vague rules that every single company seems to put out on the internet lately, but basically, cam whores are allowed to exist. Twitch is basically chatterbait that also has gaming on the side. Not only that, but people who post art can just straight up draw hentai on stream. They can straight up make their models just straight up porn. Doesn't really matter anymore. Now, obviously this is a problem. I would have thought that trying to explain this kind of thing would not be necessary because people would know that it's a problem, but we live in a day and age where that's not necessarily the case.
Society, eh? It's always the quiet ones.
If you go into any comment section anywhere, you'll just find one of two types of people. The first one will just say bro with the skull emoji in every single sentence that they post. They've never had an original thought in their entire lives. They're just posting something that their favorite YouTuber said that they decided that they think as well, or the thing that was posted underneath them that they decided to copy, because they wanted to say something, but they didn't actually want to think of something before they speak. The other group is the pronouns in bio Becky 14 she her, who decides that everyone's comedy is offensive, and that if you say anything about whores on the internet being bad, that you're somehow not empowering women and you're being misogynistic for wanting someone to have their clothes on so that they have some level of self-respect in their lives.
But the people are retarded.
I don't really know why that's the case, but that's just kind of the way it is. A lot of people lament the state of the internet, and I'm gonna be the first to admit that I was too young for the first state of the internet, but I understand where they're coming from. You can call me a boomer all you want because I don't like the current lingo in the memes, and I don't find skibbity toilet funny, and I don't use skull emojis, but that's just kind of the way that it is. However, aside from it just being really gross to see that kind of thing on Twitch, it's also quite dangerous. There's always been a big problem on all of these social media websites where children will be lured into certain things with porn, and it seems like people are fixated on doing that. There's been a lot of that in general over the past couple of years as well, from people trying to make pedophiles sound family friendly to people trying to make children make sexual choices about themselves and their own identities when they don't even know who they are yet. Now it's on Twitch. You have adults who already have porn addictions with all of the promotion of OnlyFans and all that stupid crap. I don't know. It's just making it easier for children to find just seems like such an idiotic thing to do. Because at least with stuff like Chatterbait and all of the porn sites, yeah, if a child decides to go and do it anyway, they're gonna try and do it, but at least it's something that you have to go out of your way to do. You have to go out of your way to try and find the porn, because it's not supposed to be on these other sites. But just showing it, you know, if you go into just chatting for like 2 seconds, the first thing you'll see is porn. They're not even trying anymore. And before people say, well, it's marked as mature as a reason, I don't know what kind of dumber response that you could give, because I'm pretty sure every single person on this website has their age set to way older than they actually are, so that they don't have to have those restrictions in place when they try and watch content. What kind of idiot decides to write their real age when they're underage signing up for a website? I don't know. So that's just gonna make it even worse. Children are already developing weird porn addictions on other websites like Roblox, where people will sort of guide them into these different communities where every single person has incredibly sexual content everywhere, and children obviously don't know how to handle it because they shouldn't be introduced to that kind of thing. Their brains have no idea what to do, but we've become so desensitized to any of this sort of stuff happening anymore that to even take any of it seriously is something that you should be laughed at for some reason. There's always going to be some porn-brained, melted, empty-headed idiot who's gonna post a skull emoji and say, what do you mean, you think porn is scary? Lol. You think porn is bad? Lol. You're just jealous because you don't look like my waifu. She's totally gonna pay attention to me if I defend her honor on another website.
Go away! I hate you! Why is it always Elisa?
It just feels to me like everywhere I look, on every single major website that people go onto, that millions of people use, that grooming has become easier than ever on these websites. As if companies are going out of their way to make it easier. As if people think that it's okay now, or they just don't give a shit enough. And this has already been a problem, because I've always talked about how if a boy has these things happen to him, society isn't going to take it as seriously as they would if a woman did. So that's already an issue. But then if we're getting to the point where when it happens to a female, people don't even take it seriously anymore, what is happening? I remember hearing the story a little while ago where this person who is just, a beautiful woman was just working her job, and then so many people on the internet were like getting angry at her because she didn't want to start an OnlyFans, and I just found that so dystopian. The idea that you have to do that sort of stuff, and to point out how harmful it is, you get labeled as some sort of old-fashioned, misogynist for some reason. I guess if you really want to call me that, then I don't really care anymore. I'm gonna continue to say that doing this kind of stupid shit is bad, and putting yourself naked online will never go away, even if you wanted to. And you will want it to when you get older, because it's harmful. I don't understand why people seem to think that it's just something that people can do to have a bit of fun these days, to the point where it's seen as a good thing. To the point where Twitch is endorsing it and deciding to turn themselves into some sort of porn machine without any regard for what the site was originally used for. And that's the thing. People on the internet will always be stupid. I get that. I'm not trying to act like I'm better than the average Twitch chat person, because when my friends are live, I'll spam them with funny emotes as well. I think it's fun. I don't care. You should be silly on the internet if you want to. But there's a difference between that and just letting yourself get addicted to something that will destroy your soul, not caring anymore about humanity. I know it seems like such a strong opinion to have about a stupid website online, but everywhere I look it seems like all of these websites are just degrading more and more. But then as they degrade, the social aspect also degrades, people's behavior degrades, their sense of morals degrade. Porn is just everywhere and people act like it's not gross. I feel like it used to be something where some people would admit that they liked it, and it would be like, so if someone found that relatable, it would just be like a funny kind of thing and people would move on and have other things to talk about. But nowadays it seems like it's just something that's everywhere all the time, and having an addiction to it is normalized and thought of as some sort of funny, relatable thing. And it's really funny to me because everyone's all talking about how sex work should be sex positivity and people shouldn't shame sex workers and everything, but the same people who say that, if they're a Twitch whore and they start doing sex work and people call them a sex worker, they get very offended and they say that they're not a sex worker, even though they basically are. So if sex work isn't something that we should be ashamed about, and whores aren't bad, then why do you get ashamed when people call out what you're doing? Why do you try and make it some sort of nicer sounding word? I just don't really get that, but it just seems funny to me. It seems a bit hypocritical. It's like when the people in the fat acceptance movement say that they won't date fat men because fat men are ugly, but they expect people to date them even though they're like morbidly obese and the size of the sun. I just find so much of that nowadays that it clogs up the internet. Everything just feels so stagnant sometimes. Again, like I said, this is just a complainy video. 10 minutes is actually a very short video on this channel, and I almost feel like I need to apologize for how short it is, but it's just something that I kind of wanted to get out there and vent about for a bit, because I don't want to be a YouTuber. I do this for fun, and I do it, you know, just as a hobby, and I'm happy that it gives me a little revenue here and there. If I started streaming, it would be for fun, because my real life goal is to publish my stupid little slice of life manga and to own a shop that has all my art designs and a bakery in it. That's kind of my goal in life. I don't want to be like an internet person, you know? And clearly that's because I have another goal, but even if I didn't have another goal, I wouldn't want to be one of these people because it just seems so stagnant nowadays. It seems like everywhere you look, even the NPC streamers are getting fed up with the way things are. And there's no one to blame for us but ourselves, because we are the ones that turn the internet into such a shitty place. But I feel like if I was one of those streamers, I would just start smashing my head with a drill because it just to feel something different. You know what I mean? It's kind of a sad state of affairs, isn't it? But that's not a very happy thing to say on New Year's, of all things. So, you know what? In 2024, we're gonna make things a bit different. Somehow. Even if it's just a little bit of difference. Just something to make it change. I think that 2024 can be different. It's kind of sad to end things this way, but I hope you have a great Christmas.